You don't belong here, Nia. The Sky Garden is for elites, not maids wearing rags. Jessica laughed, signaling security to drag Nia out. But the music suddenly stopped. The glass doors shattered open. A hush fell over the room. It was him, Kang Do-yun, the man who owned the city, and he wasn't looking at the elites. He was looking at the woman on the floor. Nia's knees hit the marble, hard. The security guard's grip on her arm left marks she'd see tomorrow, assuming there was a tomorrow after this humiliation. Her dress, a simple cotton piece she'd bought at a street market in Hongdae, tore slightly at the shoulder as they hauled her toward the exit. Around her, Seoul's wealthiest didn't even look up from their champagne. She was invisible, less than invisible. She was an inconvenience. Jessica stood above her, designer heels clicking against the floor, her diamond bracelet catching the light from the chandeliers. That bracelet probably cost more than Nia's entire year of rent. "I told the staff to check invitations at the door," Jessica said, loud enough for everyone to hear, "but somehow the help always finds a way in." Nia's face burned. She tried to stand, but the guard shoved her back down. Her small clutch spilled open, lipstick, a transit card, a folded piece of paper with an address written in her handwriting. No invitation, because she didn't need one, but how could she explain that without sounding insane? 3 hours earlier, Nia had been in her apartment in Itaewon, staring at the text message that changed everything. It came from an unknown number, just an address, the Sky Garden at the Grand Seoul Imperial, 8 p.m., wear something beautiful. She'd assumed it was a mistake. Then a second message arrived, this one with a photo, her laughing at a coffee shop 2 weeks ago, completely unaware someone had been watching. The message underneath read, "I've been looking for you." Her hands shaken holding the phone. She'd met him exactly once at a charity gala where she'd been working as a translator for a Canadian investor. Kang Do-yun had walked into the room and every conversation stopped. People moved out of his way without being asked. He wore power like other men wore cologne. She'd been explaining tax regulations in broken English when he'd appeared beside her, correcting her translation in perfect English himself. "You're better at this than you think," he'd said. His eyes held hers for 3 seconds too long. Then he was gone, swept away by assistants and security. She never expected to see him again. Men like that didn't remember women like her. But the text message suggested otherwise. So she'd put on her best dress, which wasn't saying much, and taken the subway to Gangnam. Now she was being thrown out like garbage. "This is a private event," the security guard said in Korean, his voice bored. "You need to leave." "I was invited," Nia managed, her voice cracking. "I received a message." Jessica crouched down, her smile sharp enough to cut. "A message? From who? Let me guess, you're someone's mistress, his dirty little secret?" She looked around at the crowd, performing for them. "These girls always think they're special. One night with a powerful man, and suddenly they believe they belong in our world." Laughter rippled through the room, polite, cruel laughter. Nia's vision blurred, not from tears, she wouldn't give them that, from rage, pure, helpless rage, because Jessica was right about one thing. Nia didn't belong here. She was a translator who lived in a studio apartment and ate convenience store meals 4 nights a week. She took language classes at night and sent money back to her mother in Vancouver. She was nobody. Except someone had sent her that text. Someone had been watching her. Someone wanted her here. The security guard lifted her by the arm, ready to drag her to the service elevator. And that's when it happened. The string quartet stopped mid-note. The massive glass doors leading to the garden terrace exploded inward, not shattered, but thrown open with such force the handles cracked against the walls. The sound echoed like a gunshot. Every head turned. Kang Do-yun stood in the doorway. 6 men flanked him, all wearing black suits, all absolutely still. But Do-yun himself looked like violence waiting to happen. His jacket was gone, his white shirt was unbuttoned at the collar, and his eyes scanned the room with the focus of a predator who'd just found prey. Then those eyes landed on Nia, on the floor, dress torn, security guard's hand still gripping her arm. The temperature in the room dropped 20 degrees. "Let her go." Do-yun's voice wasn't loud, didn't need to be. The security guard released Nia so fast she stumbled. Do-yun crossed the room. People scrambled out of his path. Jessica backed up 3 steps, her smile gone, replaced with something that looked like fear. He stopped in front of Nia, and for a moment she saw something in his face that didn't match the legend. Concern. Real, genuine concern. "Are you hurt?" he asked in English, his accent barely noticeable. She shook her head, not trusting her voice. He helped her stand, his hands gentle despite the calluses she could feel. Then he turned to face the room, and the gentleness vanished. Who put their hands on her? Silence. Absolute silence. The security guard raised his hands slowly, his face white. "Sir, I was told she didn't have an invitation. I was just doing my job." "Your job." Do-yun repeated the words like he was tasting something rotten. "Your job is to protect my guests, not assault them." He looked at Jessica. Who told him she didn't belong? Jessica tried to smile, tried to find the confident woman from 5 minutes ago. "Chairman Kang, I didn't realize she was your guest. She wasn't on the list, and her appearance—" "Her appearance." Do-yun stepped toward Jessica. 1 step. That's all it took for her to stop talking. "You judged my wife by her dress?" The room gasped, actually gasped. Nia's heart stopped. "Wife?" Jessica's face went from white to gray. "Your wife? But I've never seen her at any events. I didn't know you were married. I thought—" "You thought I'd parade her in front of people like you." Do-yun's laugh was cold. "I kept her private to protect her from exactly this, from people who measure worth in designer labels and family names." He looked at Nia then, and his expression softened. "I failed. I'm sorry." Nia couldn't breathe. This had to be a mistake. They'd met once, spoken for maybe 3 minutes. There was no marriage, no relationship, nothing that would explain this moment. But Do-yun was looking at her like she was the only person in the room. "I sent you the address," he said quietly. "I wanted to surprise you, bring you here, introduce you properly. I had a dress waiting in the car, jewelry, everything. But you came early." A small smile. "You always were impatient." He was lying, creating a story, protecting her in the only way that would matter to these people, by claiming her as his. Nia made a choice. She could call him out, expose the lie, walk away. Or she could play along, let him save her, and maybe, just maybe, figure out why the most dangerous man in Seoul was pretending she belonged to him. "I wanted to see the garden," she said quietly. "You talked about it so much." His smile widened, relief and something else, something that looked almost real. He turned back to Jessica. "You humiliated my wife in my hotel at an event I'm hosting." Each word fell like a hammer. "Give me one reason I shouldn't have you removed from every guest list in this city." Jessica dropped to her knees. Actually dropped. "Chairman Kang, please, I didn't know. I would never—" "You didn't know because you didn't ask. You saw a woman in an inexpensive dress and decided she was worthless. He looked around the room. Let this be a lesson. My wife could buy and sell half of you without blinking. She chooses not to waste money on material things. That makes her smarter than most people here. He offered Nia his arm. She took it, her hand trembling. Together they walked toward the exit, the crowd parting like water. Behind them, Jessica was still on her knees, sobbing. The security guard had disappeared entirely. In the private elevator, doors closed, Do-yoon finally looked at her, really looked at her. "I know you have questions," he said. "You think?" Her voice came out sharper than intended. "I've been watching you for 6 months, not in a creepy way, in a terrified way." He ran a hand through his hair. "I translated for you at that gala. You corrected my English pronunciation of comfortable. Do you remember?" She did. He'd said it with a hard T. She gently corrected him. He'd laughed. "I've built an empire," he continued. "I control half this city. I have enemies who would kill to hurt me. And the moment you smiled at me, I knew you were my greatest vulnerability." He looked away. "So I watched you from a distance, made sure you were safe, told myself I'd never approach you because getting close to me would destroy your life." "Then why the text? Why tonight?" "Because 6 months of watching isn't living, and I'm tired of being afraid." He met her eyes. "I'm offering you a choice, Nia. Walk away right now, and I'll make sure you're protected but never bothered again. Or take a chance on the most complicated relationship you'll ever have." The elevator stopped. Penthouse floor. His floor. Nia looked at this man who just claimed her as his wife in front of Seoul's elite, who'd defended her honor without knowing her last name, who'd been watching her for 6 months and called it terror. She stepped out of the elevator. He followed, hope written across his face. "I'm going to need that expensive dress you mentioned. If I'm playing your wife, I'm doing it right." His laugh was genuine this time, full of relief and joy and promise. And somewhere far below, in the Sky Garden, Jessica was learning that money couldn't buy back a reputation, that cruelty had consequences, that the woman in the cheap dress had just become untouchable.